Hi, and thank you for joining me on Cooking with Miss Brenda. And today we are fixing my rocket burgers. That's right. And I really like the fact that y'all get to choose what we are actually fixing each week. So I want you to know that after today's program, all you have to do is look, we're going to post immediately after the program what you are going to vote on for recipes to choose from for next Wednesday. And next week, I'll just give you a little hint, we will be preparing breads. You have till Sunday at 6 o'clock to get your vote in on which recipe will be presented on Wednesday. And as soon as that vote is at 6 o'clock, we will post the ingredients and the recipe of the winning recipe. That way, if you want to cook along, you can get your ingredients and cook along with me. If not, we post the videos when they're done on Kids Club for Jesus and also my YouTube channel, which is Brenda Walsh Ministries. So you can go there and you can, as you're watching the video, stop it and start it and cook along with me as well. So even if that's 2 weeks from now or whenever. So you have a lot of options there. And so we're just going to take all those lentils and we're going to put them in the bowl here. And this recipe is one of those kind of fun recipes that it doesn't matter what order you put them in. Let me just put this in my sink. It doesn't matter what order you put them in. You're just going to mix everything together, and it's kind of that kind of fun thing. So before we do that, the water packed tofu I want to share with you. I'm going to put this right up here so you can see it. This is brand here is an organic water packed tofu. And what you do when you open this up, you cut it open. I actually sealed it again so I could show you, tell you all my little secrets here. What you do is you rinse it really good, and then you wrap it in some paper towels, and just like this, and that's going to absorb that extra moisture in there like this. And so let's unwrap it, and you might need a couple times. Sometimes if you really want it to be dry, I wrap it several times and then I put something heavy on top of it, and then the water comes out even more. So you get a lot more moisture. So, well, you know what, I have a garbage can right here. I really do. So let me just put that over here. And yes, I'm barefoot in my kitchen and I love it. That's the good part about cooking at home, isn't it? All right. One thing that I always like to use is I like to be clean. In this day and age, we cannot be clean, wash our hands enough. So, to be honest with you, I've been doing this for years, so it wasn't just because of COVID-19. So here we go, I got my gloves on, and it keeps everything just really nice and clean, okay? So I'm going to I've got my lentils, and I have my tofu right here. And I'll put that in there. That was a little noisy, wasn't it? And let me turn my dishwasher off, let's see. Okay, let's see that. Does that sound better? I forgot that was on, sorry about that. Okay, so I'm just going to crumble this. Whoops. There we go. I guess I didn't turn it off good enough. All I'm going to do is just crumble this. And with your hands. Just crumble it up. And you can crumble it. This is such a fun recipe to just play with. It's kind of like if you ever play in a sandbox and you're just making things and just squishing it. And hands, it's so fun to do. So I'm just going to before I mix this in though, what I do when I'm and you don't have to do this, it's something just I do. Since I'm telling you my recipe and the way I do things, I'll share that with you too. So I have all this tofu crumbled on the top, and I put all my seasonings in on it because it likes to season that tofu up good. So we have my nutritional yeast flakes, we're going to just sprinkle on top of there. Then our McKay's chicken style seasoning, and I want to show you what that looks like, but let me finish this and I will show you that afterwards, I promise. We're going to put our seasoned breadcrumbs in there. This is our garlic powder and salt right there. A little bit of parsley. Like that. And you can use fresh or dried. And I'm going to just, I got a whiff of that garlic. And that was strong. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my gloves and I'm going to just mix all that seasoning into that tofu really good what that does is, because tofu doesn't have any kind of flavor really, it takes on whatever flavor you give it. So if I'm going to just put all those seasoning in that tofu, it kind of just seasons it really nice, doesn't it? So you can see that. And I'm just going to mix that up, and I can see that I've already got that. So now I'm just going to mix the whole thing. Isn't this fun? Don't you want to just get a pair of gloves in there and help me here? And we just have lots of fun today. Let's see here. And as long as I can remember, my mom, I was cooking in the kitchen with my mom. And one thing that I really, really appreciated about my mom is that she was very patient. If I made a mistake, it wasn't yelling and screaming at me or telling me that I was an idiot because I did it. She would just make it seem like it was okay. That's why they call it an accident, because you don't mean it to happen. And she would just, if I spilled something on the floor, it's okay. She taught me how to wipe it up, though, so I clean up my own messes. And I really appreciate that. And what she did then was make me be happy to be in the kitchen, and it made me want to cook more instead of being afraid to. And so I think moms and dads, if you're watching, remember that when you're cooking in the kitchen, patience is required, okay? Lots of patience and lots of love, and maybe have then lots of love in your food. And it makes cooking in the kitchen a nice memory. Okay, so now we've got that mixed up. I've got all my oats. Let me put those in there. And, oops. And then this is my onion. I really don't like to see my onion. Like if you're going to have raw onion, I like to have it pureed. And so I take a little bit of almond milk or soy milk. It's up to you. And if you don't have almond or soy, you can use regular milk. And I just take that in a food processor. And I will show you my food processor that I use so you know. And I just really puree it fine. So I'm not getting any big onion chunks in here. If you are an onion lover, go for it. Dice that thing up and put it in here. You can totally skip that whole process. But that's just me. So now I'm just going to take those oats and the onion, and I'm really going to now mix that up really good. Oh, this is fun. I wish I had a clear bowl though for you to see. I'll show you what I'm doing here. Can you see that right there? And maybe I'll try to find me a big clear bowl. I'll ask Melissa, our general manager of Kids Club for Jesus. Melissa's with us with her computer, so she's going to be giving me any thing that I need to know and give me messages over here. And she's funny because she texts me. I should have looked. She goes, "Your dishwasher's still running." Yeah, I found that out a little late. And Peggy from Nova Scotia says hi. Nova Scotia. Oh, Peggy, very nice to have you with us. Faye from Houston says hello. Hello, Faye. Thank you for joining us. And please tell me where you're from. Also, is there any recipes that you have that you'd like me to do in the future? And any kind of different type of cuisines. Also, if you have any questions about this recipe, this is the time to get your questions answered. So go ahead and type those into me, and I will do my best to answer them, and also try to remember to look over there, okay? So now you can see this is really nicely done here. Oops, I got a little bit of a raw onion. Now see this? This onion probably was on the bottom of that, and that did not get pureed, and that is not going in my patty. So that's going to go to my garbage disposal over there and not in there. So I'm glad I found that. I would not want to have it. And you can see how, hey, want to catch? See, it looks like a baseball, doesn't it, like that? We see lots of fun in the kitchen. All right, so now we're going to do a couple things. So I'm going to take these gloves off since I've made a very big mess around here, and that's okay. My mama says that's okay. We just learn how to clean it up. So I'm going to take these off, and I'm going to put this over here for right now. And I wanted to show you a couple things before we do this. I'm going to heat my skillet up because I have put my oven on as well. We're turning the oven on to 400 degrees, and we are going to we will bake these patties these burgers in the oven at 400 degrees for 20 minutes, and then you're going to, and I spray them with a non-stick cooking spray. And then I flip them over after 20 minutes, and then they go for another 15 minutes. And they're nice and crispy on the outside. But when you're trying to, you can also, you can fry them on top of the stove. Now, let me just get that going right there for a minute. I am going to be very honest with you. in the oven is good. And there's something special about a burger that's fried on top of the stove with a little bit of olive oil, and so that's not wrong either. So it is healthier for you not to have it fried. So we do have the oven option, but there are times, I'm going to be very honest with you, that I will fry my burger just because I like the flavor. But you can do either, and I'm going to show you either. I promised to show you, since my gloves are off, this is the little food processor that I mince the onion in and also the milk, and then that purees it and goes right into there. And then let me put this over here. This is the kind of breadcrumbs, and you can use any kind of breadcrumbs that you want. You can use, I make homemade bread every week. I can take that and I can make breadcrumbs out of my my bread. You can make homemade breadcrumbs out of whatever you want. Use your brand, it doesn't matter. If you're using homemade bread though, it would be good to season up a little bit. Maybe put a little Italian seasonings in there, maybe a little bit of your garlic salt, something, so that it just seasons them up a little bit. This is McKay's chicken style seasoning. It is no MSG. I don't know if you can see that really good. And it's you can get it even online. You can get it in any health food store. It's a chicken style instant broth and seasoning by McKay's. Delicious. I kind of grew up with that. My mom used it for everything. Like she made our chicken noodle soup with that. So, oops, you know what? I forgot a few ingredients in here. So and it's not too late. It's okay. It's okay because, let me put this over here and let me scooch this over here. Inside here, see, it's not going to be too late, and I do have extra gloves, so we're good. Let me put these over here. Oops, ouch. All right, we need to have our liquid aminos in here, and because if there's no rhyme or reason of how you have to put your ingredients, there's no certain way you have to do or certain order, it's no problem. So in here as well needs to go Bragg liquid aminos, and basically this is soy sauce. Whoops. See, that's what makes these cooking shows fun, right? All right, so this is just Bragg liquid aminos, and it's soy sauce. Let me turn this down just a little bit so we don't have it too hot. And we need a tablespoon of that in here. So I've got my tablespoon, so let's just put it right here. And just right there, a couple squirts for extra measure, no problem. And then I don't have water chestnuts. Now, because of COVID-19, there's a lot of ingredients. All of us are probably experiencing right now a shortness in the grocery stores of different types of ingredients. So if you don't have, we substitute. You can substitute anything. Today, you can substitute, I've got walnuts and pecans, again, just like that. And like I say, some people say, well, I'm allergic to nuts. This is a recipe. You don't actually have to have any nuts in it at all. You don't even have to have the water chestnuts if you don't like. But I will tell you that the nuts do give it a really nice flavor. So it's, I have many recipes that I use, that I do use nuts in them, especially pecans, you'll see a lot. And I really love the flavor it gives them. So let's see if we have any more questions over here. Let's see. Yes, I want to just say hi to Asher right here. And thank you for joining us all the way from Colorado. Let's put right here. And tell me what are your favorite things to cook? Why don't you give me some text coming in? Tell me what your favorite things are to cook. Do you like to fix soups? Some people like to cook better than they like to bake. So what is your favorite? I personally, I love to cook and I love to bake. But if I had to choose one, I'd probably say baking. There's something really special about mixing something up and watching how it comes out in the oven afterwards. I like that. So you can see I'm just not any particular reason, and that's probably enough right there. And then if you want, I put a teaspoon of cayenne pepper in there. Now you can use a half teaspoon. I'm probably just going to use about a half teaspoon. I normally put in a whole teaspoon, but I know that afterwards I have some friends I want to give this to that probably don't appreciate as much. So I'm going to just have less for them, since I'm probably going to And if you live near me, I give you some too, okay? So now this means I have to get my gloves on again. And that's not a problem. I have gloves right here. Let's see, this is getting nice and hot. Turn it down just a little bit. It's getting perfect. I have my oven on. Oh, and you know what I need to do? I need to get you a scoop over here. Let's get the large one. I love these. I have every kind of size of these. And it's a little scoop, and it makes sure everything comes out easy. These are great for cookies. It's great for when you're doing kind of burgers like this. Any ice cream scoop. These kind of scoops, I love them. Sometimes decorating for mashed potatoes, if I'm plating at something and I want it to look nice, I'll get me a scoop so it looks nice and uniform, put it on there, and then I dip my gravy and make a little well in there and spill it over like if I'm, wanting to make it fancy. See, a lot of things. And I'll show you that it comes in lots of different sizes too. Look at I have lots of them. I love kitchen gadgets, but see how tiny this one is? Like that one, but all the different sizes. Isn't that cool? So, but we're going to use the big one for this because we need a big patty. And I need to mix this up before we do that, right? So I'm going to just mix all those nuts in there. And I actually am not too sad about losing the water chestnuts because I love pecans. And it does give it a real nice flavor. So I'm going to just really work that in there really good. Since I didn't do that before. Don't tell on me, okay? So here we go. Oops, that was kind of a big nut that got in there. I think I'll make that smaller. See, we're just having a little fun with it. Let's see. Melissa was reminding me that I needed to add those extra ingredients. I'm telling you what, she is on top of things. I finally figured it out though, but thank you, Melissa. If I would have read her note over there, I'd have seen it. She would, when I was little, I was making some oatmeal cookies, and Artie had just put them in the oven. They hadn't been in there maybe not even a minute, and I came back to clean up, and there's all my oats sitting there, and it was oatmeal cookies, and I had forgot to put my oats in, and I grabbed it out of the oven. I scooched all those cookies back in my pan and mixed it all up. They turned out pretty good. So, it's just don't if you there's always a way to fix something. Except for when my little brother Kenny was standing by me when I was little and I was making cookies and he dumped in salt instead of sugar. That was no fix to that. And then he tried to feed it to the cows because we lived on a farm and the cows didn't like it either. So, yeah, so that was not a fix. But most things I think we can fix. Okay, so now I'm going to just make a nice sized burger. One that'll look nice in our, and while that's frying, we'll make some that we put on here on the scoop. But look, see how you can just shape it like how you want it, just the size of your bun. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Now let's see. I have to take this glove off. This is gonna be tricky. I'll just take them all off here. And put my olive oil in. You can use your favorite. I have extra virgin olive oil. And I'm going to put some right here. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to put my, hear that nice sizzle? That's perfect. And now you don't want to cook too fast because you want it to cook inside. If you have the heat up too fast, then it will get done on the outside and not the inside, and that wouldn't be good either. So I want to just keep that in a nice, it's a medium hot over here. So while that's happening, I have a cookie sheet, and you can use a regular cookie sheet and just spray a non-stick cooking spray on it, or you can use a Silpat. You don't need a cooking spray if you're going to use a Silpat. I love a Silpat. I'm just going to put these right here. Let's just clear a little workspace off and put over here. And okay, so I honestly don't need this chopping board anymore either, do I? Just put that over there. Okay, so we're going to take our largest scoop, and I just push it up against the side of the pan. And you're going to put them, at least make sure they're like an inch apart. And I'm going, since I'm making these big ones, I'm going to make them like this. And so I'm only going to put 6 on this whole tray. And this is a regular size cookie sheet. And then here's what I'm going to do. Now you can do a couple things. You can pat it down with, turn this down just a little bit. Let's see if this is just a little bit more. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my clean gloves on. I always keep a lot of gloves handy in the kitchen. I use them a lot. And let's see here, we have Rhonda would like to make homemade pizza. Oh, boys and girls, would you like to have some homemade pizza? I can make lots of pizza. I love homemade pizza. I've made it, and my mom taught me how to make that when I was a little girl. And there's so many different kinds of pizza. So I think we should have a pizza party. What do you think? Let's see how many of you write and text me and let me know. Anybody else want a pizza party? Somebody might want a pasta party with all different kinds of fettuccine Alfredo, or a marinara sauce with angel hair pasta, or maybe a ziti recipe. I've got lots of those. So you just let me know what you want. I also like to make Asian food. And I had a friend that taught me how to make Asian food, and I love Thai food, Chinese food, and guess what? I really love to make Mexican food as well. My next door neighbor taught me how to make authentic flour tortillas, and they're amazing, and they last. You can make them up, and they can last in the refrigerator for quite some time. So I'm going to show you this, what I did here in just a minute. You can see I just flattened it down to make right here. Okay, I'm going to just take these off right now because that's enough to make. But can you see this? And I have the space between them. And I'm just going to take a little of the nonstick cooking spray, and I'm going to just spray the tops. Now, you don't have to spray the pan, but I spray the tops just because I like that little extra crispy on there. And my oven is hot, and it's going to go in the oven. And you know how I'm always forgetting my oven? Well, guess what? I decided I was going to pull my Grandma Mitch's little old-fashioned timer out, and we can put a timer on that for 20 minutes, and that will go like that. But since that makes noise, I'm going to still depend on you to tell me. How's that? All right, now let's see how this burger's doing here. Ooh, nice. Let me see if I can hold it up. Well, I'll hold it up for you in a minute so you can see. But it looks beautiful. It looks absolutely beautiful. And let me see if you have any questions so far. Melissa would like me to tell you what your options are for next week. Your options are cinnamon roll cake, jalapeno cornbread muffins, pumpkin muffins, or apricot pecan bread. Ooh, I love apricots. Absolutely love apricots. Nope, we have a different one. Actually, I thought we had duffins. Pumpkin duffins. Yeah, that's it. They're pumpkin duffins. It's like a donut and a muffin. Does that not really sound good? I love donuts and I love muffins, so how about a duffin? Right? And let's see how this is almost done here. And now for condiments, let me just clean up my mess here just a second. Put this over here, because I can fix those later. We're going to dress this up over here. Let me just... Always clean your mess up, boys and girls. It's always, you want to have a clean kitchen. No, it's a lot of fun making a mess, but always clean your mess up, okay? So I have this, and we'll just clean this off, and we'll get ready to plate our food. It's always good that there's a special way to make your food attractive. It's important that food not only tastes good, it's important that it looks good. So when you serve food, you want to just take that little extra minute to decorate it, to food style it, so that it looks beautiful when you present it. And so we have I've got a plate right here that we're going to put our burger on. Let's get our hamburger buns on our bread box over here. By the way, this bread box, I love this bread box. I should show it to you. Look at this. I have very dear friends in Germany. I was over there. They head up the AFCO Europe program. It's Amazing Facts School of Evangelism in Europe. Reed and Gerda von Mauer. They gave that to me as a gift, and I had to bring that back in my suitcase, find a way to pack it. I had all kinds of clothes packed inside it and everything, determined it was going to fit in my suitcase. And so every time I look over there, I think of my precious friends. So that was very sweet of them to do that for me. In the bread box, though, I could only find white buns. Again, we're having a little hard time. I normally like whole wheat buns, but there was none to be had. So guess what? Times a little bit tight or tough. You know what? You go with Plan B. So we're going to have a bun with white bread. And I'll just show you a little trick I have too. You see these normal clothespins? They make great clips. I use them for my regular bread. I use them for anything like a chip clip. And it just is easy. You don't have to untwist the tie to get it all out. It takes time. I love those clothespins for everything. I buy a lot of clothespins. All right, so now you can have a lot of options. Let me just, oh, this looks amazing. I want to show you this. And I'm going to show you this on a different plate that I'm going to plate it on, just so that I can show you. And so, see right here? I have to have plated it just in case it dropped it. And look on both sides. And doesn't that look delicious? All right, so there's our burger. And now we're going to get this ready. Now, you can use whatever condiment you like. Some people like to put mayo on here. Some like the Vegenaise, which is a vegan mayo. I personally, some like ketchup and mustard and a little lettuce, tomato. And so I'm going to put just ketchup on it first. And, oh, I forgot to get my pickles out. Let me see. I have them over here on the counter. I can get them to you real quick. Hold on. So there's our ketchup, and just squirt a little bit of. I like the yellow mustard. Some people like spicy mustard. Some people like the mustard that is has horseradish in it. I'm not a horseradish fan, so I'm not really going to like those at all. So let me go grab these pickles for you real quick, and. Okay, so my refrigerator's right there, but you can't see. But just a little pickles on it. Pickles, I love them. I love these, and I also I have bread and butter pickles that are spicy. My mom taught me how to make them, and that's my favorite on it. So, let's see. Fork, and we're going to take some pickles over here, and just put some pickles down there. Let me move this off. We don't need to be heating that pan up right now. So just you put as many on as you want. And then I've already washed this lettuce. And we have fresh tomatoes. And let's see, we need a knife for that, don't we? So I've got a fresh, and that tomato looks beautiful and red. I like the kind that come with the stems on it because they've actually been vine ripened and they have a better flavor. So that's usually right, but again, you use what you can get. So I'm going to cut just the top off of this. Put it over here. And I like just a thin slice. I don't like a real thick one, but I'm going to put one right over here. And anyway, if anybody wants to drop by, I'll give you a free hamburger right now, okay? Okay, so always keep a towel handy in the kitchen. Dry your hands, it's handy. And then I like romaine lettuce. I like the food nutrients in them, but I also love the color and I like the taste. So I'm just going to put a couple little, and I like to stick it out a little bit so that it looks pretty, coming out of your bun. And it's not just important that it tastes good, you got to have it look good too. So let's see, I'm just going to put a little bit like that, and you're going to see what I'm saying here in a minute. Wipe my hand right there. And now it's time now if you want, on top of here, if you want to put some vegan cheese or some regular cheese, you would melt that on there right here before you take it out of the pan. And it kind of melts all over, right, if you want that. So now we're just going to put that right there like that. Put our lid on it. And now you can make, You can put some homemade, like sweet potato fries or French fries. Take some potatoes and did that. In fact, I made some homemade French fries last night. And what I do is just wash potato and slice it up like French fries, throw it in the oven with that Silpat, and I spray it with a little spray, and 15 minutes later at 425 degrees, it comes out perfect, golden, beautiful French fries, and you just put that like that. This is slipping off of here, isn't it? So I just want to show you. Oops. Doesn't that look good enough to eat? Look at that. You can kind of just see that bun over there. Let's have, whoops. That is a delicious sandwich right there. Let's see if we have, somebody's asking, would these burgers be good for other recipes that call for burger crumbles? Yes, yes it would. Now, you can use this recipe for crumble up, that's good. Also, it's great in just, if you don't want burgers and you just want to make like a meatloaf, this is delicious. Put it in a 9x13 pan, spray it first with some nonstick cooking spray, spread that in there, bake it at 350 for about an hour, and you can, it's delicious like that. Or what I like to do is I spread it all in a pan, then I take ketchup and like this, and I squirt it back and forth, and then I'll take a spoon and smooth it all over, make it like a ketchup glaze over the top, bake it for an hour, and it is absolutely delicious. And you saw how easy that is to fix. It's not hard at all, and that is absolutely delicious. So there's other things you can do with it as well. It's really good. Let's see here. Jeannie Lewis says hello, and hello Jeannie, how are you doing? And Lachelle, thank you for joining us, Lachelle. And somebody else has a suggestion of what else would be good on a burger is onion rings. And yes, they are. And homemade onion rings are really good. I love that, is onion rings. You're going to, think I'm crazy, but you know what else I love on here? I like to take potato chips, and I put potato chips on it and then smash it down. I think that's amazing. I just like it myself. But I'm not saying that's the healthy thing. I'm just saying I do like it. And sometimes it doesn't hurt to splurge, right? It's not something you do every day, but once in a while it would be great. Sometimes taking those, concoctions. I think growing up, my mom, because we grew up so poor and we didn't always have a lot of things in the kitchen, we got really creative about what ours was going to look like in our lunch. Mom usually always made homemade bread, so we would have a sandwich to take to lunch. Sometimes, though, I can remember I used to love just potato chip sandwiches, and I had butter on my bread and potato chips in it. That was my lunch for the day because we were out of all the other ingredients. And I thought it was fine. Maybe that's why I like potato chips on my burger today. I don't know. But it's okay to be creative. I can tell you one of my very favorite sandwiches ever. It's my number one go-to. I just love it. And you guys are going to just think I'm nuts. But I love homemade whole wheat bread with peanut butter on both sides of the bread, dill pickles, lots of them. Put that sandwich together, amazing. Now before you turn your nose up, try it. It is really good. I've had many peanut butter dill pickle sandwiches. In fact, I was talking to my mom a couple days ago, and I said, "Oh, Mom, what'd you have for lunch today?" She had peanut butter and dill pickle sandwiches. I was like, "Oh yeah, now you're talking." That is delicious. Let's see here, and we have someone else is wanting to know about the music tonight. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. In just a couple of hours, I will be live at the piano, and it's praise time with Miss Brenda at 5:30 Eastern, and you can submit your song requests, and we'll play it and just have really nice praise and worship time together. You can also submit your prayer requests, because at the end of the program, I will be praying for all those prayer requests. So we will really have just a wonderful time around my piano in my living room, just praising Jesus. So I do encourage you to join me for that at 5:30 Eastern, and we will just get your songbooks ready, get your song requests out there. What would you like me to play? And maybe you have a birthday, or somebody else has a birthday you'd like to dedicate a song to, or maybe a special anniversary, or maybe just somebody you love that needs a pick-me-up, and you invite them to watch, and you message me and say, would you play this for so-and-so, my friend, and I will say that on the air for you and have a little surprise for them. Wouldn't that be nice? I also want to remind you that on Friday at 5:30 Eastern, right here on our Kids Club for Jesus, I will be having story time with Miss Brenda, where I read the bedtime storybooks, and we always have a contest and a prize at the end of the program. So you'll want to join us for that. Both our cooking and our story time, we come live to you on Facebook on Kids Club for Jesus. On the music around the piano, praise time, since that is for everyone, that's for adults and kids, it's Brenda Walsh Ministries. And if you know somebody that doesn't have Facebook and you know they would really enjoy seeing and being a part of it, as soon as the programs go off the air, I will have them posted on my channel on YouTube. Brenda Walsh Ministries. Go to YouTube, Brenda Walsh Ministries, type in the search bar, click on that, and you can watch all of the ones that we've already even done. So I have lots of programs there that you can watch, Brenda Walsh Ministries. Do me a favor, please, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. YouTube requires a quota of subscribers before they'll allow me to go live on YouTube. And I know I can reach a whole lot more people on YouTube. So if you would help me do that, tell your friends, would you mind going to YouTube and subscribe to Brenda Walsh Ministries so that we can get our quota? That would mean a lot to me. Also, I would love to have you click like right here on our Kids Club for Jesus Facebook page so that we can get as many likes as we can. I know that'll make me very happy. Also, Administrator Ash is watching right now all the way in South Africa. Ash, what time is it over there? You should let me know because I know it's pretty late. They're already getting ready to go to bed over there. And she stays up for these lives so that she'll even be live with me at 5:30. So, Ash, thank you for all you do for Jesus. You're loved and appreciated. In fact, I'll let you in a little secret. Ash sent me a couple years ago, she sent me for a Christmas present, or a birthday present, I think it was. She sent me this little butterfly, and I hang it on my door so that every time I see it, I say a prayer for Ash. Isn't that cool? And it has a little birdie on it, you can see, like that. It's really cute, and so I would remember to pray for her all the time because I hang that on my door. So let's see if there's any more. Oh, you know what? We just, Liesl says hello. Liesl, I don't know where you're from, but you say hello. And Nicole and Gabrielle from Canada, thank you for joining us. Do you have any questions for us? Let me know. And also, Melissa wants you to know that she just posted the link to vote. So encourage you to cast your vote. She's already posted the link for you. So as soon as we're done, you can go in there and cast your vote. Also, don't forget to like on our Kids Club page and our Brenda Walsh Ministries channel on YouTube to hit subscribe. So I want to thank you for joining us. I'll see you just in a couple of hours around my piano, praising Jesus, playing your favorite songs. So until next time, remember to keep cooking, have fun, eat healthy, and remember it's your time to share Jesus. Bye-bye, everybody.